David,
Sir.
Did you know that in the 21st century education model, of all of the things we could be doing to, give our kids a leg up in life, the one thing we should not do is give
touch
them.
The second thing we should not do. The second thing we should not do. You're right, Dane.
We should definitely not give them information about good life choices as opposed to poor ones, backed up by mountains of social science data. We should avoid that at all costs. What do you say? What say you?
I don't know, Dane. Let those little booger eaters fuck their lives up in second grade. You know what? Let's cancel the DARE program. Let's not you know what? You take all the drugs you want, little kid. We got plenty of us. You throw your life away. It's no big deal. Right, Dane?
Right. Absolutely. So what are we talking about on this week's bonus episode? We're talking about a news article out of Ohio. This was posted by NBC4 out of Ohio. And the Cliff Notes version is, quote, "The Ohio Senate held its first hearing Tuesday for a bill that would require schools to teach a, quote, success sequence life path, including encouraging students to get married before having children." Now, David, if I were to tell you that that's a summary of what the article is about, what would you venture if you were taking the temperature of the comment section on this? What do you think the good people of the internet, the good denizens of the internet, would be saying about this particular article?
Well,
or this
Dane,
bill in the Ohio Senate?
Let me answer that question with a little story. I don't know if you know my dad very well or not. He does. He said when I was a very young age, son, I will love you no matter what you do in your life. And it was a very touching moment. He said, the only unforgivable sin you could ever commit is to get a girl pregnant before you're 18. And I was like, you know what, Dad? I think your terms are acceptable. I think I can hold that shot. And by God, I did. And God, look at me now. The 121st Australian political podcast. Here we are, man. We've made it.
You held it by double. Never let anybody tell you that David does not go the extra mile, okay?
I go the extra 5,680 feet, all right? That's the right. I always reverse them. Is it 5,860 or is it 5,680?
See, I would know that off the top of my head until the exact moment that you asked me directly. I think it's 5,280 is what I believe it is.
I think I'm throwing a 6 in there just because I want it to be there. I think I'm fucking it up.
I am Who Wants to Be a Millionaire final answer in that. Let the internet tell me I'm wrong.
Well, let me look that up because, hey, Jamie, why don't you look that up for us?
Okay, well, while you're looking that up,
Jamie.
I'm going to go to the article that is tied to that little summary that I just shared and just read a couple points to it, just to give the people a little more flavor of what is in this Senate bill before we get into the outrage comments about it. So we have this from NBC4 in Ohio. It says, quote, Senate Bill 156 would require students in grades 6 through 12. So again, not reaching all the way down to the first graders to have drag queen story hour. They at least waited till grade 6. It would require students in grades 6 through 12 to study this, quote, success sequence, which includes obtaining a high school degree, finding a full-time job, and marrying before having children. Seems relatively unoffensive to anybody that's, not had their last 2 brain cells fighting for third place. Cutrona, which is the Ohio senator that's sponsoring the bill, said 97% of individuals who do all 3 are not impoverished. Okay, and then federal analysis warns that other factors will still be at play. They can't just let you rely on the data itself. They got to come in and just undercut it. Anyway, the last thing I'll quote from the article. It says SB 156 would require the Ohio Department of Education and Workforce to develop model curriculum regarding the 3-pronged success approach, which would have to be bolstered by evidence. Oh, shocker. It's got to be bolstered by evidence and feedback from a committee of parents. Wow. They're giving the parents say on the education of their children. and local Board of Education members. It is based on research from varying institutions, although success sequence concept was popularized by the Brookings Institution, not a super right-wing institution, by the way, for those of you keeping score at home, which is a nonpartisan think tank. So, David, before we get into the comments, that is what has the people you're about to see up in arms. What are your thoughts on it?
That just sounds like sound logic to me, Dane. If you told me, hey, if you take these steps, you have a 97% chance to make it to the NFL or to make it to fucking Mars or like to become an astronaut or a fighter pilot, whatever your dream was. Mine was music. I probably should have gone with music. But anyway, if you said that all I had to do was take those steps, and I would have definitely 97% chance. Do you think I would have skipped a step? Do you think I would have been like, you know what? These guys don't know what they're talking about. I'm just going to leave it in and fucking spray it all over the place and let's see what happens, you know?
I mean, listen, forget skipping a step, right? The purpose of the curriculum is, right, knowledge is power, is to give you data points to then assess on. Like, there's nothing in the curriculum. Like, again, no drag queen is forcibly coming to your library and reading a story to you. They're saying, here are the data points backed up by social science data that says if you do these three things, you might have a better time than if you don't do these three things. Now, you as the hormonal, 13,
we get it. We were there.
To 18-year-old kid.
We like touching it to stuff just to see how it felt too. We did it as well.
You are perfectly at liberty to ignore the data, to ignore the objective facts, again,
absolutely,
that are borne out in tons of social science studies, and not follow the success plan. That's on you. But why it's so egregiously offensive to give people the information and then let them make an informed decision is absolutely beyond me. Because, by the way, just want to refresh everybody's memory in case you already forgot from 30 seconds ago. Not a super high bar, right? Graduate high school, get a full-time job. Okay. High school is virtually just, a young adult daycare at this point these days anyway. They're not teaching you anything. Second of all, get a full-time job. Not even saying your full-time job has to be like a neurosurgeon, just like any full-time job, steady pay, and get married before you have kids. Now, maybe the third one is the highest bar that's hard for people to meet.
Have you been in the dating pool
young
lately,
hormonal teenagers, not super bright with their whole sexual partner choices. But anyway, the point is, it's not like they're telling you to go land a rocket on Mars. Okay, pretty low hanging fruit to
and if you did, they'd probably be pissed at you about that too. Yeah. To be honest with you. So, you arguing against this is literally like you arguing for educating your children. Like you arguing for the best outcome for the world. It's like, no. Give Timmy the cigarettes back. Let him keep that habit going. No. Don't make him do his homework. He doesn't want to get good grades to get into a good college. No. In fact, what's he even doing in this school? Get the hell out of here. Just go and drink underage and do drugs and throw your life away. So you have to become a dependent upon the government. And then, my friend, you'll be an American citizen.
So keep in mind, because I'm getting ready to share the comments with you. This is the juicy part of the show you've all been waiting for. Keep in mind that these outrage merchants that you're about ready to hear from are the same people who are absolutely aghast that the Federal Department of Education might actually be abolished. That thing that was created in 1979. And as we all know, nobody knew how to read before 1979.
Nope.
And
they still don't, Dane.
As administrator salaries have gone through the roof and teacher salaries have stagnated and educational outcomes have plummeted since 1979, these are the same people who will tell you that the Department of Education is absolutely indispensable to the entire endeavor of education, and that, sending monies down to states so that they could, teach kids how to put condoms on a banana is the real key to life success. And how dare you tell the kids, again, mountains of social science data that if you do those three things, you're going to have a good,
We're not even asking
a good
you
time,
not-
but you're going to have a less bad time, like
This
wind up
isn't
in
even
poverty.
like the Catholic Church, man. This isn't even like the church saying don't have sex until marriage. This is just saying, hey, just watch where you put it. That's it.
It didn't even
Take door
specify.
2 until fucking.
It didn't specify straight or gay marriage. It just
Listen.
said get married.
Listen, all I know is, Dane, is that women have 9 holes in their body and only one of them can get pregnant. All right? So just choose another one. Was it 10? Am I missing one?
I'm only up
it's
to
the knee.
6. I don't know what I miss. Oh, 7, 8.
Uh-huh.
I'm not going.
If you're brave
I'm not
enough.
doing this anymore.
If
I'm
you're
not
brave
doing-
enough, don't forget these guys. Don't forget these guys.
I hate it. I hate that you made me count that.
Welcome to the Weapons of Meme Destruction podcast. Anyway, before you jump into that, Dane, you were right. It was 5,280.
Nice.
Made you wait for it. I knew I was fucking it up. I knew it. I always try to slip that 6 in there somewhere. It's like, nah, get out
I
of here.
clearly
Just
am not a
get
victim
out
of
here.
educational malpractice.
Get
And somebody
outta here.
somewhere along the leg got the success plan into me. So anyway,
Ugh.
the comments. Yes, what you all came for.
Oh, the
Here it
comments.
goes. Now, again, this is just because I'm a glutton for punishment. I can't read a headline like that and not go to the comments because I'm just like, again, I hate
broke
myself.
Joe Rogan's rule.
I
You
guess.
broke his one rule.
Which
Don't
is
read
what?
the comments.
Don't read the comments. Well, in this case, as predictable as they are, they do give some fodder for the show.
Couldn't
so
help it. You're
we
like
would
a
be
fucking
remiss if
moth
we
to
didn't
the
do it.
flame.
So the comments here, first one, in quotes. Small.
I
Oh, by
like
the
how
way,
you
yes,
redacted
that's
these.
me. I redacted everything because although these are public postings and these people are not entitled to, have their stupidity covered up for them, I'm
But
still
we
a
got
nice
you
guy.
over here at Weapons of Meme Destruction.
That's right.
We're all
Never
about
let
reaching
anybody
out to
think
all
that I'm
branch.
not a nice guy. So I'm just going to go down the list real quick, and then David and I will kind of jump around at which ones are our favorites. But again, these are just the first 5, the top 5 comments if you were to click on the comment section for this one. And the first one is in quotation marks, small government, scare quotes. Next one is vote blue, many exclamation points.
Oh, Jesus Christ.
Third one is, but they won't teach sex education, facepalm emoji.
That happens in 5th grade, dipshit.
Next one, hope they teach about 2nd and 3rd marriages. And then the 5th one, government overreach much? Question mark. So, David, and believe me, I scrolled further down than just these 5. It took a long time to get to a comment that was even remotely sympathetic to, yeah, maybe we should teach the kids that, very
if you just
simple
don't
decisions.
do this one thing,
You got a less than 3% chance to wind up in poverty.
you might not become famous. You might not be a millionaire, but you're not going to be scraping the bottom of the barrel. I mean, Jesus, it's simple math. And it's like small government, vote blue, but they won't teach sex education. Hope they teach about 2nd and 3rd marriages, government overreach much. No, I thought you forcing your kid to have to learn that there's more than 2 genders was government overreach. But no, this is the one. This is the one where they're sticking to the facts and they're using just something that makes sense to everybody. Hey, don't do this one thing, which is super easy not to do for the most part, unless you're not. Anyway, moving on. And you're going to have a way better life. So you don't want the kids to have a better life?
Yeah. I mean, they're really telling on themselves. And again, you're not surprised to hear this from the people that are, wailing and gnashing of teeth over the loss of the Department of Education. Because again, if these people actually cared about educational outcomes, if they actually cared that kids that are victims of the public school indoctrination camps that get sent off to those schools for 12 years of their life at 8 hours a day, calculate out the hours on that, and they can't even, balance a checkbook, They don't even know what an interest rate is
in there too.
or how an interest rate works. They barely know the 3 branches of government. Like, we've all seen those videos of like Jimmy Kimmel interviewing people on the street or somebody going out and interviewing people on the beach. The kids don't know anything. And those same people who think that the public education system is just doing swimmingly for those kids are upset that you would give the kids, again, objective information that says, if you do these things, all the social science data says 97% chance you won't wind up in poverty. Choose not to do the things. By all means, buck the trend, don't do any of them, and prove everybody wrong and still not wind up in poverty. Good for you. That's great, but you should at least have the information.
You know what's the funny thing about all this is, Dane? Is most of the people that are saying vote blue or do this, that actually have children, that did stick to the science and did put a male penis into a female vagina and make another human, I doubt that they would send them to these schools, to be honest with you. Their kids won't even be in there. So what are they bitching about?
In what schools?
In a public school.
Oh, yeah.
They'd pay for their kids to get the best education. And then, we shouldn't teach our kids. What do you care? They're not going to learn it where you're sending them. So, yeah, you wouldn't be caught dead with your kid in that school, would you? Oh, no.
Yeah.
We had to move to a different part of the city so that Justin could get a good education. Mm-hmm.
Well, and so especially those first, I'm going to bring it back up, especially that first comment and the last comment are, two sides of the same coin, the small government and square coats and the government overreach much thing. So this is funny on 2 levels. The first level is these are the same people that lose their minds over the concept of school choice. How dare you take money out of the public school systems and have it follow the child and let the parents decide which school district they want their kids to go to, who's going to serve their kid best or whatever. We need public schools, damn it, and we need it mandated, and we need all the truancy laws to force them to go, et cetera, et cetera. So the same people that demand government schools are upset when somebody in government doesn't agree with them 100% in terms of the curriculum that should be taught, and they're pissed about that. So when they're trying to say that this is evidence of not limited government or this is an evidence of government overreach, you're getting what you asked for. If you want government schools, you have to know that your viewpoint is not always going to be in control of setting the agenda for government schools. And so you take what you get. That's the first thing. And the second thing is calling this, overreach or not small government or all this kind of stuff like that.
This is shit I want my kids to want to know.
Like,
finally.
Think about what we're teaching the kids here. Again, we're teaching the kids objective, science-based, study-supported information. So getting upset that teaching the kids that is an example of government overreach is like teaching the kids the Pythagorean theorem is government overreach. Like, we all know this is true, right? It's evidence-based. So I don't understand. It's this particular objective fact upsets you. It doesn't align with your, kind of libertine, live my life however I want, consequences be damned. And if I do suffer consequences, it's probably somebody else's fault. That's not government overreach. That's just you being a fucking moron. And
you probably had kids before marriage.
Yeah. and not being comfortable with objective truth that just doesn't align with your worldview.
Well, the funny thing about this whole thing, Dane, is if the government agency for education had just stuck to the 3 R's, as they call it, we wouldn't be having this problem. It probably wouldn't be getting deleted. And we probably wouldn't be in the bottom of the rung for most advanced countries in the world for all these different markers of math, science, and all and whatever the hell. Literacy is down, for God's sake. Like, more and more kids aren't reading. In 2025.
Yeah.
So you tell me that
while we're spending somewhere in the top 5 or 3 per capita per pupil of any country in the world.
So where is it
somewhere
going?
In the top 5. Yeah.
I wonder.
It ain't going to teachers. It ain't teaching the kids.
No, it ain't. Is it? Anyway, well, that was fun, Dane.
Yeah.
For the kids. It was one for the kids.
For the kids. So listen, we've done our civil duty, okay, by making fun of stupid people in the comment section. And,
Now get in our comment section and make fun of us for being dumber than them.
Listen, if you don't want your kids to be victims of educational malpractice, just send them over to the WMD boys. We'll coach them up good. We'll coach them up good and hard.
What?
It's a little cherry for the lefties. They're into that, I hear.
They love that shit, the hard candy over there. Yeah. Fuck yeah, hard candy. Anyway, but yeah, send them all over. We'll get them straightened out. Don't do drugs. Love your country. Love America. I think those are two different things now. Because America is definitely not our country.
Yeah, not anymore.
Anyway.
So, David, anything else to give the fine people out there tuning into this here bonus episode?
Oh, no. I mean, until next week, stay tuned to Weapons of Mass Destruction.
Later this week for episode 240.
I mean, yeah, that's what I said. This is later this week. Because now we're doing the different thing. Because we're giving you more content. Because hopefully you'll like us more. Anyway.
That's right. So with that being said, we'll see you on episode 240 coming right up.